The Game of Thrones stars are finally able to speak out about how this blockbuster fantasy series came to a close. And while some are happy with their endings, others, particularly the Mother of Dragons, seem to be less than thrilled. Throughout her run on Thrones, Emilia Clarke has taken Daenerys Targaryen from a naive, frightened child bride to a formidable and lethal dragon queen. But underneath it all, Daenerys has had to juggle her desire for justice with her genetic makeup. After all, she is a daughter of the infamous Mad King Aerys Targaryen. Even so, audiences have always rooted for Daenerys, cheering her on as she frees slaves, saves innocents, and fights those in power to give it to those below. Until the end of Season 8. Daenerys' torching of King's Landing during the penultimate episode, The Bells, wasn't entirely unexpected, but her descent into madness was seen as abrupt and unearned, as if viewers were supposed to forget about Daenerys' humanity and believe she would kill thousands of innocent people without a passing thought. For her part, Clarke might have tried to warn audiences about this before the season aired. In 2018, Clarke revealed to Vanity Fair that her final scenes were incredibly upsetting and that fans might look at Daenerys differently, given that her continued passion for war leads to Jon Snow ultimately having to kill her. During an Emmys event before the final season premiered, it's hard to overlook her facial expression.
Best season ever!
Other actors have expressed some frustrations about the final season too. They include: one of the most compelling, infuriating, evil, and dynamic characters on Game of Thrones is Cersei Lannister, thanks in no small part to the performance of Lena Headey. Even as Cersei committed unspeakable atrocities, killing anyone and destroying everything in her path to make sure that Lannister stayed in power, fans were occasionally swayed thanks to the heart and depth Headey put into Cersei's character. Fans expected an ending for Cersei that was as sensational as Headey's performance. Unfortunately, Cersei's grand exit didn't pan out as planned. While fans were mulling over theories that ranged from everything from death by Jaime's golden hand to Arya or the Hound killing Cersei, they were ultimately given a sequence in which Cersei and twin brother Jaime are crushed by bricks in each other's arms in the bottom of the Red Keep. Even Headey was annoyed at this closing scene, saying she wanted something bigger or any sort of fight at all. As freed slave Missandei, Nathalie Emmanuel brought a considerable amount of heart to an often cruel show. Fans loved her friendship with Daenerys, as well as her relationship with Grey Worm, the leader of the Unsullied Army, but grew apprehensive when Missandei and Grey Worm started to make plans for the future. Always a bad sign. Missandei ended up captured by Cersei's forces, and was beheaded in front of Daenerys in a show of cruelty and power. After the episode, Emmanuel said that it was disappointing to see the show's one woman of color killed so abruptly. She also spoke to the emotional weight of Missandei dying in chains, which brought her full circle in the most heartbreaking way possible. Fans and critics agreed with Emmanuel, and it seems there's no shortage of viewers who think there should have been more justice for the character. One of the most mysterious and interesting characters in Thrones, Lord Varys, played by Conleth Hill, seemed to know every secret in all of Westeros. Though Varys began the series firmly in the Lannister camp, he eventually switched sides to his friend Tyrion Lannister in Daenerys' court. Having known Daenerys' dangerous father, he remained cautious. After Missandei's execution, he concocted a plan to tell the Seven Kingdoms about the true heir to the throne, Jon Snow, only to be found out and burned alive at Daenerys' order. After Varys' death, he told Entertainment Weekly that he was upset by the last couple of seasons. He was disappointed that the showrunners couldn't devise a final meeting between Varys and Littlefinger, considering that the two characters often worked together to pull the strings. He added that he wasn't sure the series successfully moved past author George R.R. Martin's source material.
Are you all happy with the way with the outcome of the show? Personally, or just the biggest
By Season 8, Tyrion Lannister had been Daenerys' top advisor for quite some time, but in her eyes, he'd begun to falter. Between underestimating his sinister sister Cersei and being too trusting of his brother Jaime, relations between the Dragon Queen and her hand were splintering. Actor Peter Dinklage certainly has a good relationship with his character, but he also made not-so-subtle hints at his frustration with how the show ended. In a video about the end of the show, he criticized the decision to put all the women and children in a crypt full of the dead during the Battle of Winterfell. But the most telling moment comes when Entertainment asked how he felt about the ending.
There are no better writers in television than Dan Weiss and David Benioff. You people are in for it.
Some fans described the interview as a, quote, hostage video. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Looper videos about Game of Thrones are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.